Hi everybody, it's Cindy. It is Monday, September 18th, and I'm back to do an update. I am super excited today. I have a lot of things to share. I want to start off by thanking all of my viewers, my subscribers, and the people who leave comments below. You make our day, and we all know as people who put out videos how much that means to us. I cannot express enough in a video how much that means to me. That I'm touching somebody or somebody enjoys seeing something I did or maybe inspires them. This community, like Arlene Cohen says, you are my people, and I don't get to go to a stitching group. I don't have any local things I could join anymore. My stitching group meets on Saturday. I work on Saturday. I cannot go to that group. So when you post all your videos on the weekend or during the week, there was so many this weekend. You made my weekend. I was sitting and stitching, and I felt like I was stitching with my friends. So many out there that I really enjoy, and I really do try to leave a comment on every video I watch. Somebody who responds to me in my video, I really do try and respond to every comment I get. And I know that can be time consuming, but I feel as a part of this community, it is important to know that those comments mean a lot receiving them, and they do mean a lot for the people that you give them to. It's really nice to know that you touch some people. Now, the hurricane that we had this past couple of weeks, here in Tennessee, we just had rain. My sunflowers didn't make it. They got top heavy and fell over, which was fine. The birds ate all the seeds, no big deal for me. That's the only thing that happened to me. We just had rain. I know all the Georgia stitchers. Hi guys, there's so many of you. Hopefully nobody had damage. I heard that some trees were down in certain areas, so hopefully everybody made it out fine. I do have a lot of family in Florida. Both my mom and dad, they live in different areas of Florida. Neither one of them had damage. They didn't even lose power. My mom and her partner were up in Michigan when that hurricane hit, so they were not there, which was a blessing in disguise. On the way back, they stopped here in Tennessee, and they stayed here for 2 weeks. And they stayed at my sister Carol's house, and I got my sister's dog because he is very hyper, and he jumps and he scratches, and he just gets really excited. Not a bad dog, but he's a medium-sized dog, and he's a lot for me to handle. But he was with me for 2 weeks, so I didn't get a whole lot of stitching. It was like having a kid. He thinks I'm supposed to play with him 24 hours a day. He thinks I'm his toy. And he's a handful, but I love him to death. He's a needy dog. I never met a dog so needy, but he needs a lot of attention, kind of like a kid, but he needed more walks and things. And at the end, I'll include a couple of pictures of him and a small little sideshow. It was a joy to have him, but he did take a lot of my time. So I didn't get I did get stitching done. I have 2 pieces that I'm finishing that I'm not going to share. They are gifts, and I will not share those until the people actually receive those. I do have another piece that's stitched. I'm just waiting for the beads to come in to finish it. So I do have some exciting things to share. And the first thing I'm going to share is I had my first Knoxville County Fair. I have never entered in a fair before, and I'm going to explain why. My sister, who is an avid stitcher, lives in New York State. She's a big quilter, quilting for years, and in the New York State Fair, one of her friends entered one of her quilts. It was the prize-winning quilt of the whole fair, and it was stolen. She never got it back, and that was years ago, and I never forgot that. And in my mind, to have one of my pieces damaged or stolen, that had to be a devastating experience for this woman, and I know I would be really upset if that happened to me, and that's why I have never joined a county fair. I've been asked to join the county fair many, many times, and I never did. I'm going to explain why I did it this year. There are several people that gave me encouragement and inspiration to do the fairs, and Vonna Pfeiffer's been doing them for years, and I know she won Grand Champion this year. Congratulations, Vonna. We were all so happy for you, and you've been doing it for years, and what some of those judges put you through, and Man, I can't imagine going through that. Kentucky Stitcher, she joined her fair and she shared that on one of her previous videos and her experiences in which she entered. And even seeing those two, I probably wouldn't have entered the fairs. I just didn't want to. I was just really scared to join them, I gotta say. But who pushed me over the edge? There's two people. One was Julie McConnell. She has a store, Reflections, Framing and Stitching, and she said, please enter your pieces so people could see them and the younger generation could see something and it might spark an interest and have this hobby continue on. It would be a shame to have this art die, and I do agree with that. We really should just put them in the fairs for that one reason alone. I didn't join the fairs to win any ribbons. I wanted to enter pieces that were different. They weren't, you know, your typical samplers or things like that. My pieces have color and it's a little bit more outside the box, a little bit more like somebody might spark somebody's interest. And the number one person I want to thank is Arlene Cohen. Arlene Cohen has been entering contests for years, and she's shared many of those on her videos. Her talent super exceeds mine. I'm like, if she could enter her pieces and not worry about her pieces, I can certainly enter mine. I don't think mine are anywhere near the level of Arlene Cohen. She's quite an amazing stitcher, and she just recently shared a piece that she won like a whole bunch of ribbons on, and I was smiling ear to ear. How could you not be happy? And her ribbons were so cool. They had cross stitch in the middle. I thought that was amazing, and congratulations to Arlene. You well deserved for all of you. Vonna, Kentucky Stitcher, and Arlene. Yeah, this is what we do, our hobby. We just want to share what we love, and that's all we hope to do. And when I went to drop off my pieces, I'm not going to say I didn't have anxiety. I did. I was still scared to drop them off. And in my county fair, you could only enter 3 pieces. All 3 pieces had to be framed. So I couldn't enter, like, you know, all the other stuff I do. I do so much other things with my pieces, but they had to be framed pieces. When you dropped them off, when you signed up to go in the county fair, they gave you tickets, and they are barcoded, and it has your name on it. And when you hand in each piece, they scan it, and then they take off the bottom piece, and you have to hand in those pieces to pick those pieces up. So I felt very comfortable, like, okay, they definitely use some type of security. The woman assured me, you know, nothing would happen to my pieces, even though the first thing on their website is a big disclaimer, we are not responsible for anything. Just seeing that, I was like, oh. So I dropped off my pieces, I got my stubs, and a couple of days, I dropped them off on a Tuesday, and then Friday was the first day of the county fair. So of course I wanted to go and see everything, and I didn't just want to see my pieces. I wanted to see what else was at the county fair, what other stitchers had entered the fair, and I was really excited to just go and see that. Now there was 3 categories for these pieces, and one was animals, flowers, and still life. That was one category. The other category was anything else. It could be anything. And then the third category was novelty or fantasy. And I went into the show, and they had a huge Lego display, and my kids all love Legos, so I was fascinated myself. I was checking out all the Lego pieces, and they had fresh flowers, tons. They were judged on fresh flowers. That was amazing because I'm a huge gardener. They had a lot of dolls, a lot of crochet. They had a big display of wreaths. They had card making, scrapbooking, painting, quilts. They really had a lot, and I totally enjoyed the fair. I was there for a while, just looking at everything and taking it all in. There's definitely a lot of talent out there, and I really enjoyed the show. So I'm walking through the whole show, and I go through the whole show, and I didn't see my cross-stitch pieces. Now I was like in panic mode. I'm like, where are my pieces? What happened to them? Like I was really like panic mode. So I found one of the workers, and I'm like, you know, where are the cross-stitch pieces? Because I found all the way in the back there was a couple of cross stitch pieces and a couple of needlepoint pieces. And I walked the whole other, and I didn't see anything else. I'm like, where are my pieces? And she's like, go all the way up in the front. And it was the second booth on the left. And the cross stitch pieces were mixed in with crochet pieces. I'm like, oh, no wonder I didn't see them. I wasn't looking for crochet. I was looking for I thought it'd be a separate booth just dedicated to cross stitch. That was not the case. I did find my pieces. I entered 3 pieces. All 3 pieces won a ribbon. I cannot believe that all 3 pieces won a ribbon. I was floored. It was great to see, hey, you know, all my pieces won a ribbon, and 2 of the pieces were hung next to each other, the bigger pieces, and they were back on a wire wall, and it was roped off, so I really felt comfortable. I'm like, all right, nobody could get really back there. There's people working and stuff, and this was all the way back attached to like a metal wall. So, and then my smaller piece was in a glass display case, so that nobody would have ever gotten. Maybe the other 2 might have had a chance, but the small one did not. And I'm going to show the pieces that I won my ribbons on, and it really is exciting to say, hey, you know, my pieces won ribbons. Unlike other shows, there's no comments or anything. It doesn't, no feedback, no nothing. So I was kind of surprised about that, because I've heard, you know, Vonna explain her comments and cards, and I didn't have any of that. They didn't do that, so I'm like, all right, good. I guess I don't need the feedback. But the first piece, and I cannot believe this one, it was first place, and this was in the novelty and fantasy category, and this is my snowman. This was winter, and it has the Swarovski crystals, and first place, and I was floored that this piece won. It is a really cute piece. It is a whimsical fantasy type piece, novelty, so it did fit the category very well, and I framed this myself, so I just couldn't believe that this took first place in that category, and I'm super excited, and I'm going to show you. This was from the Dress Cross Stitch Ornament issue 2016, and here was the piece. Now I switched it a little. I did a little different than that piece, and that one first place. Like, how amazing is that? Now I'll get to the 2017 Dress Cross Stitch Ornament issue at the end, because I have a lot to say about that issue. So that was the first one. The next one, this one, third place. Now this was in the category of animals, flowers, and still life. And at the end on a slideshow, I'm going to show you, I'm going to attach a lot of pictures of the county fair. And not just what I could get of the cross stitch and needlework, the Legos, and I mean, I put some really good pictures in that slideshow, and it was amazing. Now, in this category, the 2 pieces that beat this piece definitely deserve to beat this piece. So I got third place, and I was happy with that. And that was for my Satsuma piece, and that won third. And I'm so happy about that. The 2 other pieces, I will include pictures of those that beat out this piece, and there was not as many cross stitch pieces in this fair. I was a little bit disappointed. I thought there'd be a whole lot more, and definitely I'm going to get in touch with my old stitching group and let them know each of you have to enter at least 1 piece next year, because we really should be representing the cross stitch community just for that one reason alone. And I have sent out an email to all of them already, and they don't have to enter 3 like I did, but I hope that they all do. They will do amazing work, and I would love to see just a whole booth of just cross stitch, because if there was that many pieces, it wouldn't be mixed in with crochet. This last piece is first place. Seize the day. This piece I knew would win a ribbon. I just didn't know what place, and I really wasn't really expecting first place, but it did. And this was in the all other category. It won first place. And kudos to Cathy Habermann, who designed the piece. When we do our pieces, there's a lot of things that go into stitching something. It's a designer, it's the fabrics, it's the floss, it's everything. This represents a whole lot of people. This isn't just representing me. And Cathy Habermann, we're excited to know, took first place in a county fair. This is not a huge piece, but the framing and everything that came together on this piece, it really is an amazing piece. And this piece, this one meant the most to me. This is not my piece. They will be getting this piece soon. And it just has special meaning to me, and I think that one meant the most. So that was my county fair. It was a great experience. I do encourage everybody, if you're super afraid to have your items damaged or something like that, speak to the people who run your county fair, see what they do. But this, where they're scanning it and it's attached to each piece, that made me feel very comfortable, like somebody wasn't just walking out of there with your pieces. Now, on a really good note is I got a check for $17 for winning my pieces. And here, I'll show you. It's $7, and then $3 for third. And at the bottom it says, you know, thank you for exhibiting in the 2017 Tennessee Valley Fair. And I thought that was like a check. I'm like, oh, you could just keep it. I told the lady to keep it. No. She goes, you have to take the check. So I was like, okay. So, hey, $17 for more stash. Like, we need more stash. I'm going to be talking about, Sassy Jacks. I went to Sassy Jacks in Weaverville, North Carolina. It's a newer stitching store, and what an amazing place that was. And they'll be moving to their new headquarters in Asheville spring of next year. And I bought, I'll definitely include all pictures at the end of the store. I didn't film when I was there. There's only one woman working in the store. It wasn't the owner, but she was super nice and helpful, and I had such a good time in that store. I was the only one in there while I was shopping. I think I was there for an hour and a half. They had a ton of patterns, and I'm like, you know how it's like you want everything. I definitely did some stash enhancement. I call it enhancement. I'm enhancing the collection. I will share a lot of pictures of that in a slideshow. That's definitely why I'm doing my video today, is I didn't want to forget some of these things. I know this has been mentioned on a couple of other videos that I watched over the weekend, but I do want to give a shout out to Fiber Talk. Gary posted a video on the attic of all of the samplers. If you have not watched that video, go watch it, because my mouth was hanging open. I'm like, and I'm not a huge sampler person, but after watching that, I'm like, oh, I have to do a sampler. Add it to the list. But the name of his Flosstube, and this is Gary and Christine do their Fiber Talk every week. They're starting to post those to YouTube, so that's another avenue. But I've been listening to them since Arlene Cohen had mentioned them on one of her videos. I know Vonna, I think, was in the second podcast they did, and then she did another one. I know Arlene Cohen just recently did one. It's amazing to hear your friends like talking on a podcast. And the name of the Flosstube is called Flosstube Fiber Talk Tours the Attic. And Gary did a great job, and what a service to our community that him and Christine do every week. I listen to them and I stitch. So when I'm done watching all the videos that I could handle in a day, I put them on and I just focus on stitching and listening. I also do want to give a couple of shout outs. I want to thank Mary Rose for doing the video on the chatelaines and the designer, Martina. I thought that was amazing, and in my next video I'll be sharing why I asked her to do that. And she did a subsequent one on the designer of Lavender and Lace, and that video, I think it touched a lot of people. The designers, we forget the designers, and we don't really know the designers personally. And I think it is amazing. Like, I know Cathy Habermann is doing it, and a couple other designers are starting to do Flosstube. I would love to see Lizzie Kate, the designer Lizzie Kate, do her videos, and a couple of others. I mean, I'd love to see them do their videos because you feel like you know them more. That's the only way I could explain it. And Mary Rose, I know Harlequin helped you put that together, so I want to thank him also because I know he helped you put that information. There's not a whole lot of information on Martina out there, and she really gathered everything she possibly could on that designer. So I want to thank her so much for doing that. There is a new floss tuber that I did watch, and her name is Heidi Cram, and it's Heidicran. She's put out, I think, just 3 videos. She was a teacher. It's amazing how many stitchers are teachers. It amazes me. And definitely go watch her videos. Her grandmother made her a tablecloth that is breathtaking. It really is beautiful. And go watch her. If you haven't come across her videos, go watch her. She's really, I enjoyed her videos. Now, I'm going to briefly talk about this Mill Hill kit, this bead kit that I did, that I brought up in my last video. And the reason why I'm going to talk about it is somebody had asked, they sent me a private email and asked, what I use to attach the beads. I just use clear. This is transparent thread. That's all I've ever used on my beads. It doesn't show when you attach your beads to the piece. And the reason why I don't do kits, this is the second kit in my whole stitching career. And I thought I was stitching 17 years. I'm stitching over 20 years. I have no concept of time. My kids laugh at me because I really don't. I have no concept of times. Like the 90s, I had 3 kids. That's all I remember. That's it. I have no concept of time. I'm stitching well over 20 years when I calculated it. Yeah. I have real good calculation when it comes to time. I don't have good time references. But I don't do kits, and the reason why is when you get your the Mill Hill kit, all your floss is wound up like in a ball, and you have to separate it. Why? They can't separate, like they had to put it together. And I bought some kits from Russia, and I'm going to show you those in a moment, but the only good thing I could say about this kit, it comes with everything. They gave you plenty of floss, plenty of beads, but they gave you the chart of what each color meant, because it said light blue, dark blue. All the blues looked the same to me. Thank God they had a color chart. I went and I got my DMC. I have a book where you just look at the color and name. A lot of people have that. Or I could just go to my thing and pull out whatever that number was, and I'll match it up. And then I had to separate it. I didn't like doing that. Now, some people enjoy it. They put in their videos, they like separating everything. Yeah, no, not me. I don't like doing that. So I wanted to explain that on this piece. Now, the next thing I'm going to be going to, I do have one stitch finished, and it's a small one. I didn't even fully finish it, I just stitched it. And I'm going to put something on the back here. This design, get a good look at it there. Has really pretty colors in it. This is number 7, Fragments in Time by Summerhouse Stitchworks. There is the pattern. Now the reason why I got this one is the colors in the middle look blue. They're really not blue. It's a silver color. So, like if you look at them side by side, I don't know, there was a difference to me. I mean, I still love the colors, but like it looked more blue in the picture to me, but it's actually silver color in the middle. Now they have a C and an M, C in one corner. I think this is a C. I'm saying it's a C. It could be an E too. And then the other one was an M. I didn't put the M on there, but what's funny is my initials used to be CM. but I left off the M. I just left the C. I don't know what that's supposed to represent. So I'm like, I'll leave the C. C for Cindy. It's good for me. And I will finish that into probably a pillow with the recommended. I have the, they have a blue chenille. I have that blue chenille, so I'll probably end up doing it with that. I love the colors in this piece, and I was attracted to this piece due to the colors. I really like the colors in it. Like I said, I have a couple other pieces done, and I just can't share those right now. Sorry about that. Now, I stitched that piece on 32 count Belfast Platinum. So that's what I did that piece on. Now, the next thing I'm going to share is my stash enhancement. So if you don't want to see what I purchased, I know some people don't like watching that, you could leave. But at the end, there will be a video of the county fair, the other stitching pieces I was able to get photos of. It was hard to get photos because they were mixed in with crochet. So that was a little distracting. But when I went to pick up my pieces today, I actually picked up the pieces today, the county fair, and I was able to get a picture of the showpiece, the number one showpiece overall. That's what they do. They don't have a grand champion. They just pick the showpiece, and I loved it. It was a very pretty piece, and it had a big purple ribbon on that. So I'll include a photo of that in there too. I will show Sassy Jacks. Great photos of the store there, but I'm gonna move on to my stash. And this is the whole, excuse me, this whole bag, this is what I purchased at Sassy Jacks. So, and I'm sorry about the noise with the crinkling. The first thing I got is chalk squared. Hands-on design, good old Cathy. I guess I'm attracted to her work a lot. I did pick up, this is what you finish it in. And you have the buttons. There was all different, this is May. This is May, and they had all the months. I really just wanted to do May. I didn't want to do them all, but I was attracted to this one because it has bees and flowers, and I'm a garden person, so that was the first thing I got. The next thing I got, and I'll take these out so it's not so shiny for you. This is Lizzie Kate, and it's Think Deeply. And I really was attracted. It says, think deeply, speak gently, love much, laugh often, work hard, give freely, be kind. This is what we all aspire to be every day. So I really like that piece. I picked up that pattern. And I'm just going to be putting these back in the way I found them, or I'll never. Now they had such a huge display of Plum Street sampler, and I don't do a lot of Plum Street, but I was attracted to so many. I'm like, oh my gosh, I guess I've just never seen them in person, the patterns, and I think it makes a difference. And of course, this is Hello Summer, and it's got the patriotic flag. Summer is my favorite season, although September is my favorite month. This is a beautiful piece, so I'm looking forward to stitching that. I did pick up all the floss, but I'm not going to show you that. And some of them I will. I'm just not going to show all of them. It'll take me forever. The next piece I got, this is another Plum Street. And I really don't have hardly any fall pieces. I'm not a Halloween person. I won't do any Halloween, although I love watching everything everybody stitches for Halloween. I just don't do Halloween. And this is called Sampler House 4. And it's very fall. It has like the fall colors in there. It's very pretty. I was attracted to the colors in it. So I will be doing that. Now, I don't do stitch alongs or anything like that, but I am doing Turkey Tuesday because I have no turkeys, no Thanksgiving, nothing. But of course, Prairie Schooler, and I'm doing a turkey. And this is called Spring and Fall, so I've done this in the past, the bunnies. So this is a cute piece. And I was looking for a lot of fall pieces. So let's see what else I got here. I did get, you know, the linens there, the fabrics. Maybe threads and stuff like that. They did give me a free pen. They gave me a couple of free needles. Oh, what my purchases also. So that's everything that I picked up from Sassy Jacks. But I had a whole lot of more stash enhancement. And the reason why I did pick up a lot is I really feel that this is going to be a brutal winter. And I wanted all of my projects in place. So when the bad weather comes, I don't have to go anywhere. And let's see, Weaverville is, it's only a couple miles from Asheville. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes from me, so it's really not around the block. And that is, it's not a straight drive, but this is hills through the mountains. And coming home, I hit rain, and it's a brutal drive in the rain or snow because you're with all truckers. There's only 2 lanes, and you're weaving in and out, and it's not an easy drive. It's a beautiful drive, though, when you have nice weather. And I gotta say, I went a couple of weeks ago, and there was some of the leaves were falling already on some of the trees. I'm telling you, that never happens that early. And I'm not saying all the trees, but some of them did. And you'll see one of the pictures I took of the dog, I was walking in the park, you could see all brown leaves on the floor already. For certain trees, they're already shedding their leaves. So I really think it's gonna be a brutal summer. And I'm gonna get some other pieces that I had purchased. So give me 1 second here. I have a whole bin. Share a bin. Okay, so and these I'll show you the floss because I have them ready. Now this piece is Harvest Time, and it's by Chelsea and me. And it's just a beautiful fall piece. And I picked out, these are all the floss. I'm going to show you the linen I got for that. And these really have, you know, the fall colors in there. It'll be a pretty piece when it's done. So I did pick up that. Put that down. The next one, this is another Plum Street sampler. I'm surprised how many Plum Street samplers. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to do that one. And this is, of course, this is called Sunflower House because I love pansies and sunflowers. And I love, here's all your flosses. This is called Thankful Quaker by Ben Creek, and I think Magnolia Nana. I think she showed this on a video. I don't know, somebody recently showed this finished, and I had to have it. I love the turkey in it. Beautiful. This is Sunflower Serenade. And this is by, it's a sampler needlework or Needlework Smalls, Blue Ribbon Designs. And this has all sunflowers in it. Love it. I have all the floss and the linen there. I'm not going to take that out. I had to get this one like right away. Hands-on Designs, Sunflower Manor, Sunflowers, Priscilla, Cathy Habermann. Priscilla does amazing chalk work in it. I can't wait to stitch a couple of her. This is, you know, Cathy hooked up with Priscilla and, you know, got her pieces and turned them into corsage. How amazing is that? And I so enjoy Priscilla and Chelsea. They crack me up, and what a team they are. Do some amazing work. They do a lot of stitching. Now these two patterns, I bought these on eBay, and these came from Russia. I've never received anything from Russia, but these are kits. me who never buys kits, and I'll tell you why I bought the kit. And that is the name, Brodier, and I know I'm going to say it wrong. And this is, look at the pumpkins. It's just a beautiful design. And I'll tell you why I got the pattern and the kit. All separated. The codes are right on here. Your guide. How amazing is that? Why don't they do kits like that here? Maybe they do. I've never seen it this organized. And these are Anchor. Now this is B-O-S-T-A-N-I pumpkins. And the name is B-R-O-D-E-R-I-E. Sorry guys, I know I'm probably saying it wrong, but I don't want to pronounce it wrong. It's a beautiful kit. And I also picked up another kit because it was coming from Russia, and I can't just get one. And this is Flowers with the Vase. I seen this in somebody else's video. I'm like, oh, she bought a lot of kits, way more than me. I only bought 2. But they really have nice designs. You could get these on eBay. In the back, all color coded, and I'm like, okay, I'll try those, see how it goes. I'm really not, but I like the designs. I picked up just by Stony Creek, and of course I'm always attracted to ocean themes. How pretty is that? Really beautiful. And then, let's see, I just got this in the mail today. I was like, yay, package, yay. And I don't think I've ever seen this in a video before, and I don't even know how I came across it. I don't know how you come across things. They pop up. Oh, I gotta have it. Yeah, that was me. And these are called Fragments in Time, Celebrating Sampler Motifs. And this is by Summer House Stitchworks. This is number 1. It's the whole alphabet. This is A and B. And this is the linens. Colors. Now what's great about this? It's the whole alphabet. They all use the same colors. How awesome is that? So this is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. This is number 5. Six. 7 and 8. Now, I actually ended up getting these on 1, 2, 3 Stitch. They were on sale for $3.59 a piece. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And I got the floss, and I don't know if I'm going to do these individually. You could do them as a big piece. They have a border if you want to do that. But I bought them individually. I don't know if I'm going to frame them all together in a frame. Or I might just do the hoops. I love how it looks in a round hoop and put all the hoops hung up. I don't know. We shall see. Okay. And the last thing, that's all my stash enhancement. I think that was enough to keep me busy for a whole long time. The next thing and the last thing I want to talk about is the 2017 Just Cross Stitch ornament issue. Okay. I got it today. I didn't get it when I was supposed to get it, and that didn't matter to me. They didn't have it in any local stores here. And the cover of the magazine says it all. I can't even describe how disappointed I was in this issue. I get it every year. I'm a huge ornament issue stitcher. I do a ton of Christmas ornaments, and I tabbed it out. I have 3 tabs out of all these. I was so disappointed. I maybe you could see it in my face, because it was just such a letdown. And I know Yvonne, the Night Owl Stitcher, went over this also in a, yeah, I agree with her. Look, I'm going to show you. This is last year's cover, just the cover alone. Okay, this is 2016. There was a ton on the cover I wanted to do, and I actually did a bunch of these. I did 1, 2, 3 of these just on the cover. I did it. When I get my issue, I usually tab off 10 to 15 pieces I want to do. This I had 3, and the 3 I chose, I was pushing it. Some of my favorite designers, I don't know. I was disappointed this year, and there was a couple of designers that I don't even know in here. There's a couple of my favorite designers that aren't in here. And I'll say Blackbird Designs was one of them. They're missing, and you know, I always look forward to their piece. I got to say, when I was looking through and thumbing through the whole magazine, there was a lot of DMC designers, and it seems like, and there was definitely more than one of them, and it seems like they were pushing the DMC more. So I'm sure that's a sponsor of the magazine. And I want to do a shout out to Cathy Habermann. Her ornament was professionally finished, and not all of them in this magazine were professionally finished, and I'm not going to say which one's disappointed me the most, but Cathy Habermann's is definitely Hands-On Designs is one of them that I will be stitching, but I only have 3, and I'm going to tell you what I did, and I hope everybody else does it too, because we are the consumer. We keep this magazine in business. And I know people were disappointed with the Halloween issue. I don't do Halloween, so I really can't even judge that. But this, I sent them an email and I let them know that this issue was highly disappointing, and this is the worst issue that I think they've ever put out on the ornament issue. And they need to know that, because we are the customers, and they need to know that their customers were disappointed in this issue. Just this cover alone. This is 2016. There's still more in this issue I want to stitch, which I'll have to go back and do because there's hardly any in this one. Look at the difference just in the cover. And I'm just doing 1 year. I'm a huge fan of the Just Cross Stitch ornament issue, but yeah, I was so disappointed. And if you're disappointed, definitely send an email to Just Cross Stitch and let them know you were disappointed, and maybe they'll step up their game come next year. I know people were unhappy with the Halloween issue. They should really, you should send an email saying you were not happy with that. We need to voice our opinions because we are the supporters of that magazine. And I'm not going to say which one was my favorite one in that issue because there's not a whole lot of them. But yeah, I usually have 10 or 15 eared off, and I'm excited and ready to go. And this issue it was a letdown. It was disappointing. And I know Yvonne had said that in her video. I'm like, oh my gosh, how bad could it be? Yeah. I agree. I agree with Yvonne on that one, and I know other people had did a walkthrough on their videos, and I didn't want to watch it. I wanted to see it myself and decide and judge it myself. But yeah. And on that note, everybody, I hope you have an awesome stitching week. This will be my longest video ever, and people have told me please make longer videos, so I'm going to be doing that for you. I hope everybody has a great week. And until we meet again, everybody, happy stitching. Got it.